Hello and welcome back on my channel Sheet Metal Workshop, and this is part 2 from my project pipe rack. I already showed in part 1 how to measure and how to put it on digital, and now we are in the next step, and that is we're going to cut it out. Now behind me is the ultra cut laser from Schwartmans, so everything I have programmed on my tablet or draw it on paper is now the next step is putting it in the machine. So what I'm going to do now, we go into the software, set up the settings, and let's have a cut. Okay, now we are here in the Ultra Cut software, and we're going to copy over the data from the tablet onto the Ultra Cut to import. Okay. Next thing what we're going to see, have a look in the development if everything is there, just to check out project pipe rack. And now we go in the isometric. Okay, the isometrics are there. Everything what I have drawn is there. Okay, everything looks good. And now we're going to cut. And now we can see the nesting and it looks okay. So okay, now let's have a start and press the button. Okay, now we're here at the end. Everything has been cut out. Everything is laser engraved with all positions numbers. So next step is put it on my table and let's fabricate. Okay. Okay, now next thing, I forgot to make an end cap, or we call it also a Chinese head. That is a circle made of one part, so it's possible. I have here this piece of metal. It's a rest. Normally it's rubbish, but we're going to use it, and the Ultra Cut knows exactly where to cut. Okay, well, let's start. Okay, now we're going to open the door. And I'm going to just put the metal here. So it could be any piece of metal as long as it fits what you want to cut. So I'm just going to put it in. Close the door, and then it starts measuring the metal so the laser knows exactly where to cut. Okay, well, that's it. So take my metal out. Put it here, and as you can see, I've cut it out. Okay, well, that is position 1A. That's it. Okay, well, that wasn't something I almost forgot to show. It's possible. And now let's get back in the workshop. Okay, now we're back from Wesseling, and I put all the materials, I bring everything over now here in my workshop, so from the machine and now on my desk. So now the fabrication continues. So I have here left one part untouched just to show how it came out of the laser cut machine, and I just have here to pull it, and you see how easy I can take these things out. See, I don't need any tools. So, and that's it. Okay. Okay, now, well, the next step is I have separated all the positions, all the pipelines, and put also the isometrics on it, on the metal. And for example, this is position number 1. We did the measuring in pipe rack part 1. So if you want to know about the measurements, just watch part 1. And this is the metal in front of me. So we started here. And this is then with the engraving in it, 1, 1. And you can here see the segment 1, 2. So everything is engraved. And that is here is also position number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could do this now in different ways. I can do all the side switches from all the metal at once, round everything at once, and put it on the table, everything, and then start screwing it. But I will then have a bunch of metal on my table, so I've decided it. We go one by one, and I have here also some other examples of digital drawing. So this is also an example in many different ways. Here also I have here one with the position numbers, the lengths, the degrees, the segments. So there are many possibilities to print it out. Here I have an isometric view. Okay, well, these are the possibilities. Also what is possible with the ultra cut. So I will say let's have a start. So I'm going to start doing side swedges, and I'm going to round it, put the screws together, swage it again, and put the whole pipe together. So then we will have this end result. Okay, well, let's have a start. So I'm going to use only the roller and the bead machine. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put here side swage, and round it. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to repeat everything the same, and then we're going to the next step. So now everything is screwed together, all screws are in, and here, as you can see, everything is really fitted good. So I didn't have to use anywhere my shears to make corrections. So everything fits perfect. Every segment, see, everything is nice. Here also. So it's really precisely cutted. So now next what we're going to do, we have here the first segment. So that's the one of 410. So that's the starter segment, and we have here an in-between segment that comes probably like this. And not what we go now. Next thing what we're going to do is we're going to swage it. So it starts with an end plate. So we give here a male swage, and here we start with a female swage, a male swage, female swage, and then we can have a look if it fits. Okay, well, we go straight here to the swage machine. So first, male swage, that's one. Okay, that's the second one. Now let's have a look. And here is a half hole. Okay, well, That looks good. So I got the setup now for the swages. So next step is I'm gonna swage everything and then put it together. Okay, well. Okay, now this is it. So the first pipe is done. See? So here's comes here actually here on the pipe rack. So this is the form. See, so something like this should come. So something like this. Okay, well. That was pipe 1. So this is the isometric of the T-pipe, and we have here, we see here that's is position number 2. That's the isometric, how I draw it. So I'm gonna explain it really quick. So we have an angle of 15 degrees. So this angle here is 15 degrees, and then I measured from the center until center pipe position number 1. So this length until here, the center of this, I have 255. And from center until the center of position number 3, I measured 310. Now, if this angle is 90 degrees and this is 15, this will be automatically 75 degrees. Okay, I made those T pieces both out of 2 parts. Now, that's the next thing. I'm not gonna flat swage it, stretch it straight away, but I'm going to round it, put the swages in, and maybe later also we're gonna make those cutouts. Okay, well, that was position number 2. So same thing, rounding, swaging, rounding. Here is position number 2. So also with the laser engraving. Okay, well, that's position number 2, and now we're going to continue with position number 3. So this is position number 3, and we have here, this is here, this one going up and measured until here. So we have here one-sided reducer, here normal reducer. I have all made videos about this one. Okay, so this is it. So we have here straight pipe. This is a 3-inch pipe. That means 8950, and I give it 10 millimeters more. So I took here diameter for this one 200, and this is and this one is a 2-inch pipe. That means 6050. That makes also 170 diameter with a radius of 130. So I got here this length. Here 180 plus 150 makes 330. So from the welding seam until the end I have 280 plus 50 millimeter makes 330. And I measured these in 2 parts so I can sign or already made a cutout, for example. Okay, then we have here a T-pipe from the welding seam until the center. We measured 180. And then the reducer comes of 90 millimeter, And we have here also a piece of pipe, 880 millimeter with an end plate on it. And also here at the end, as we call it, the Chinese head. Okay, well, that's the next step. So fabricate position number 3. Okay, now position number 3 is done, rounded, everything is swaged, so I have only to put it together. And now we can see here, this is the pipe of 880, and we have here this one of 180 plus 150 is 330. We got the band here, we have the both reducers, and we got this T-pipe made out of 2 pieces. Okay, now I decided to start it with this part here because in this piece pipe comes a T-pipe in, and I want, because the sizes are mentioned here, so that means I want to make the cutout on it. And here at the end we have also here what looks like a triangle, we call it the Chinese head, and that's what we're going to show now first. So I have here Chinese head, it's a normal circle here, and the diameter of this pipe is 200. So for a Chinese head we always give 10 millimeters more in diameter, so we have here 210 millimeters diameter. Now because it's cut with a laser, there's no center markable, so I cannot see where the center is of this circle. So what I'm going to do, I have here a tool, it's called a center finder, and put it like here. And now I'm just gonna make a line. So, and now what I'm going to do, so if we give 10 millimeters more in diameter, that means I have 30 millimeters overlap. So I'm going to mark here the overlap, and then I'm going to put this here again also on the overlap like this, see? And now here I have automatically got my center. So what I do next, I'm going to cut it, and then squeeze it a little bit. Put it here on the overlap. Maybe give it a little thick. And now we're gonna drill. And we're going to put in a rivet. So if you're not happy with one rivet and still here a little bit open, you drill another hole. And that is it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put here in a round swage here. So that's it. But we're going to continue now with this one. So it's actually a good tool. There are also longer ones. These center finders, they are really handy sometimes. Okay, now, so this one comes here in, but there we come back later on it. So we have 150 from the center. So 150 is the center from the outside. So here's the Chinese head. So 150, and I'm gonna mark it here. Now, if the seam is under, normally the screws are the center line, but if it is under and you take the screws as a center line, then this swage comes up, and that means water can flow in. So I'm gonna use here the middle as the center. Now the diameter of my T-pipe here is 170 millimeter, so that means half is 85. So I'm gonna mark here 85, and here also 85. And now I'm just gonna take here this T-piece, see here where it comes on the line, so just hold it like this for the cutout. It's the easiest and quickest way. So that will be now my cutout, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to drill here an extra hole, take out the screws, and cut it out. Okay, well, there it is. End plate is in. And now we're going to continue. We can see here it starts with an end plate coming in, so this is the end plate that comes in, but on position 1 I forgot to put in the end plate, so I have here this end plate here, and the cutout is already there, so I forgot to put it in on position 1, but it's no problem. It's still there, so I'm also, you can here put in also a rivet in it. And then you can here, if you want, put in a screw, or there's also another possibility, for example here also, where you can put in a rivet. And now you don't have a screw, you just put it in back, and it's precisely here in the center. You see here a little bit for if you want to make a cutout or something. So there's also possibility. So that would be now my end plate for position number 1. Okay, now we're going to fit now number 2 together. Okay, well, this one comes here. See, here comes here the center. We have here also band centered, so, and we put here also the seam on 10 o'clock. So there are some situations on some plants they want the seam to have it on 10 o'clock. That is the position of the seam. And then we have here the next pipe, what will be fitted like here. Okay, well, that was position number 3. Position number 4, position number 5, and position number 6 is left. So I'm going to repeat the same stuff what I did before with the other pipes. Side swages, rounding, swage again, and put the pipes together. So I'm going to skip this part to show on video, because I'm repeating the whole time and I don't want to make those videos too long. So that means after it, if I finish and all pipes are together, then I will continue with the stretching, and that is on the end, so I don't want to change those wheels on the swage machine. And there we will continue after everything has been put together. So I'm going to explain number 4. So I have here the isometric in front of me, and this is the pipeline I made. So first I'm going to explain. So I made here a T-piece, an angled T-piece of 42 degrees. So position number 4 is this pipe here, what goes up. It got 2 angles, and it's a 1.5 inch pipe. So
that makes an outside diameter of 48 and 50 insulation. So I have rounded it off on 155 millimeters, so it won't be too tight when I put it around the insulation. Now, the angled T-pipe is connecting to position 1. So I've made here for myself here position number 1. So this is position number 1. And the other T-pipe also connects on position number 6. So this would be then position number 6. Okay, well, let's have a look at the pipe. So this is the pipe, how it goes. So here's the angled T-pipe. So the flat swage stretching I will do later at the end. So this will be then fitted like this. That is number 4. And I've measured from center until here 510, and I split it in 2 halves, so 255, and here also 255. So that is this here. So this here is here from center, see, 255. And now here also 440 from center pipe until this center pipe, we have 440, and I also divided it in 2 parts, 220 and 220. And here pipe goes up until here position number 6, we have 450. So here, from here, center line 450, and then I made here this end piece 300 and the T-pipe made out of 2 parts. Okay, that was position number 4, and let's continuing with position number 5. So position number 5 gets also a rain cap. It's got a box, and we have here a piece of pipe of 410. So, and we have here also connecting here, I made here a T-piece here. Position number 1 comes in. So this is here position number 1 comes in on this pipe. And here I measured position number 7. That is actually an epsilon piece. And there will be a separate video about that. So we will come back later on this one. So I'm going to show you what I measured. So from here, the screw length is 70 millimeters. So I measured from here 70 millimeter up, and then from there until the center of the pipe, I measured a total length of 610. Okay, and then 510 from here till here. And then the next piece with an angle comes here 180, and then here also 160 somewhere here, exactly in the center. Okay, well, that is then, and of course a box we have also made. So I'm going to show you here. This is then position number 5, I'm sorry. So this is the one, position number 5. So I'm going to put it here like this. So it would be fitted like this. And because I showed here this rain cap, so what I did, I've got here in a back swage of 50 millimeter, and the diameter is 170. So I made here this one 1 centimeter bigger. So this is 180 diameter with 45 millimeter wide. And I want to make a ring cap of it. So what I'm going to do is just gonna give it a cut here. See? Then I put it here on, and by squeezing it, see, so I'm gonna squeeze it, and then I'm gonna mark it here. So this is now my overlap, so I can shorten it a little bit, the overlap. Make here 2 holes. And now I have here also something like a rain cap, You can also put here an outside swage in it, because I already changed the flat wheels in the machine. I'm gonna do it later, but now here, just to show it here. So, and then here the box comes under it. So I have these new crimping wheels. See, these are the new one, and these are the older one. So it's got the same, exactly the same dimensions. The only difference is this one's got an edge, and the new one is rounded. So it's got a rounding. That's the difference. So I'm gonna use the new one now for the first time. But also comes in the box a little bit. Okay, well, that's it. So this one comes here, and then the box comes on it. And okay, that means number 5 comes here, and here's the seam on the inside of the starting segment. So I have to make a cutout for the T-pipe that's coming in with an angle. Then we have here the bend coming, and we have here also a small elbow of 30 degrees. Okay, well, that was then number 5. And here we have got position number 6, and you can see here position number 6. I started here with a piece of pipe 410 long with a crimping cover on it. That will be this piece here. And then we have a box coming, the box here. So this one I have made with screws, not with locks. So these are with screws. And then we have here also the pipe of position number 6. So we have here got a piece of 50, so that will be this piece here, that is 50 millimeter. And then we have a reining stretch edge here made it. I made it, the starting part made out of 2 parts. So I'm gonna show really quick how I fabricate this part. and then we go here to the end segment where the seam is under, because we have a cutout later, and then we have here also an elbow of 60 degrees. So this is what I'm explaining, and this is position number 4 coming into the pipe of position number 6. So you can see here number 4, and then we have here an elbow of 60 degrees, and then position number 7. Position number 7 will be an Y piece, also known as pens. There will be an extra video about this one. Okay, well, that was it, what I wanted to explain. So this is the part. It will be fitted like this. So seam down under. Okay, well, that was then position number 6. And here is the starting part here with the crimping edge. So you can see the differences. These are just 2 different methods. One's with a crimping edge and one also with an end plate in the pipe. Okay, well, that was it. So next thing what I'm going to do is I'm gonna stretch here number 4. It's out of 2 parts. So I have a seam in the smallest part, and there's also a seam in the largest part. So let's go to the flat swager. Okay, we are here now in front of the swager, and we're going to try it. So first what I'm going to do, give it a little bit here only up. See, only just to keep a little bit something. What I'm doing next now, I'm gonna give more power, and now we go slowly here. So I give more power here. So now it looks like this. So what I do now, I have here made a metal on the edge, so I wouldn't do it on a wooden table. So now I'm gonna push it here. See? And now it goes here a little bit more. Okay, well, let's have a look. Okay, well, I will say this looks good, fine.
Okay, now we are now at the end of the video. I did all the stretching on the T-pipes, and the next thing what we're going to do is the insulation and the cladding on the pipe rack. I'm looking forward to do it, but that will be in part 3. This is the end of part 2. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I did everything well and good. I give my best. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.